graduates, faculty, Board of Advisors members, friends, and honored guests. My name is Marisa Chantarillo, and I am so privileged and proud today to stand before you as the Dean of Western State College of Law at Westcliff University. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 54th Annual Commencement Exercises for the College of Law. We're assembled here today to honor our graduates from the classes of Fall 2023, Spring 2024, and Summer 2024. Professor Glenn Capel will now lead us in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright spars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Professor Capel. Congratulations to the 2023-2024 graduating class. I would like to begin the program this afternoon by mentioning several special guests who are with us this afternoon, starting with the Chief Academic Officer of Westcliff University, Dr. Ying Iverson. Thank you, Dr. Iverson, for your support and for taking time out of your day to help us celebrate today. Let's give her a round of applause. Let me take a moment to note other special guests here today. On the stage, we have members of our faculty and two representatives from our Western State Board of Advisors, Dick Millar and our board chair, Bill Shapiro. Also sitting in our VIP area are some of the family and friends of our commencement speaker, District Attorney George Marquez. I will keep my remarks to our graduates short because there are others on this program today who will provide you with inspiration. And in the end, this is your day. This is a day we have set aside to recognize and celebrate your accomplishments. I know for each of you, there were moments of doubt when you wondered if you could really accomplish all that was laid before you. Well, here you are. You've done it. This is your day of celebration. But I want to remind each of you that you have friends and family, some here with you today, others who perhaps could not be with you today, but all of whom contributed in important ways to your success in law school. The hard work and dedication, of course, came from you. But there are parents, siblings, spouses, partners, and other family members and friends who are literally or spiritually behind you, who have provided advice, encouragement, emotional, and sometimes financial support so that you could realize this monumental achievement of graduating from law school. So I'm going to ask you, the graduates, to take a moment now to stand and turn to those behind you to acknowledge the contributions of those who helped you get here with a hearty round of applause. Now that you've acknowledged the help of your family and friends, I'd like to take a moment to address those loved ones. I know that each of you who have been part of your graduate support system during law school are aware of how diligently your graduates worked during law school to reach this moment of celebration. What you may not be as aware of, though, I assume that your graduates are acutely aware of it, is that, at least for those who completed their studies in May, there is still one major hurdle left before your graduates formally join the profession that has been the end goal of this long process. That hurdle, of course, is the bar exam. Those of us on the stage can tell you that it's a rigorous and challenging exam that is taxing not only intellectually, but also physically and emotionally. So I ask on behalf of your graduates that you continue to offer the love and support you've so generously provided during law school for this next critical period so that your graduates can successfully navigate this final step in their journey. Now, graduates, I turn your attention to a second group deserving of your appreciation, your faculty here at Western State, who individually and collectively played a central role in your law school experience. In evaluating the strengths of an educational institution, the most important measure of institutional strength is the quality of the faculty. And I can tell you from my own experience that Western State's faculty is superb. Your faculty has challenged you and inspired you to work harder, to think more critically and be more tenacious, resourceful, and creative than you ever thought possible. So now on this day, when you're gathered together one final time, I ask my faculty colleagues who are here on the stage to stand and receive the recognition that they deserve from you, the graduates, and the rest of us assembled today. Please stand. Now, about the most important people here today, the graduates. These are individuals who will receive recognition today for their extraordinary accomplishments, to whom you will be introduced shortly. There are also individuals listed in the program who have distinguished themselves academically. As noted in the program, these individuals were wearing cords with distinctive colors signifying their accomplishment, which you will be able to see as they walk across the stage. However, I want to take special note of one group whose efforts symbolize the mission of Western State. Those individuals who are wearing white cords or white and light blue cords earned by volunteering their time to serve the community. Those wearing white cords have volunteered a minimum of 100 hours of public service and are being recognized for that distinguished public service. Those with light blue cords and white cords are recognized for their exemplary public service, having volunteered a minimum of 200 hours of public service. Despite the heavy time demands imposed by law school, along with the time taken by many students to participate in law review, moot court, and student organizations, these Western State students were still able to find the time to volunteer to help religious institutions, organizations assisting the homelessness and indigent, as well as a wide variety of legal and advocacy organizations. So if you see a graduate with a white or a white and light blue cord, please take a moment to thank them for their service. Graduates, at the end of today, you will be alumni of Western State. As someone who deeply admires the devotion our alumni have for each other and the school, I hope that you will assume an ethic of stewardship and responsibility towards your colleagues, along with a commitment to support and mentor future students. With your support and commitment, we can continue Western State's long history of leadership and responsibility in the larger legal community. Let me close by wishing all of our graduates who are scheduled to take the bar exam this summer the best of luck as you prepare for the exam. I have every confidence that you will take all that you have learned in law school and turn it into success on the bar exam. And for all of our graduates, I wish you future great success in our noble profession. Congratulations to our graduates, and welcome to all your friends and family who are with you today to celebrate with you. Western State has a tradition of selecting the graduate speaker by competition. This year, Kelsey Blair Cooper, the salutatorian of the May 2024 graduating class, has been chosen to represent the graduating class. Please welcome Kelsey Blair Cooper, your 2024 salutatorian and graduate speaker.
Good evening to my fellow graduates, to our friends and family, and to the deans, faculty, and staff. My name is Kelsey Cooper, and it is my absolute honor to address you as the student speaker for Western State College of Law's 2024 commencement ceremony. To my fellow graduates, we made it. To all our friends and family, thank you for your unwavering support as you accompanied us and suffered right by our side on this difficult journey. To the deans, faculty, and staff, I hate to break it to you, but you get to do it all again next year. In all seriousness, though, none of us would be here without the amazing instruction, academic support, and advice you all provided to each of us along the way. It certainly wasn't a walk in the park, and each one of us fought our own set of battles to make it to this point. But I'm sure I can confidently speak for all of us in saying that it was well worth it. Even after finishing law school, though, standing up here in front of this many people is still quite nerve-wracking, so please bear with me. As I'm sure you would all agree, law school is no easy feat, and it is not for the weak. However, each one of us walking across this stage today is a testament that it can be done, despite the challenges we faced along the way. While each of our journeys were unique, there are universal experiences we all endured. The countless hours spent in class, the constant fear and threat of being cold called, and the all-nighters spent studying for exams, to name a few. We made endless sacrifices and missed out on experiences in our personal lives because that was what was required of us. Throughout it all, we kept pushing and striving to be our best, and along the way, we proved to ourselves that we could do it. Not only that, but we made friends and memories to last a lifetime. For those of us that began our journey at the height of the COVID pandemic, completing our first year of law school entirely online, it was more challenging for us to connect. But despite being introduced in an online world, we forged friendships and survived our first year of law school, from our bedrooms, garages, and treehouses. When we returned to school in person, those friendships grew stronger and our circles grew larger. From late night study sessions to bar reviews and everything in between, as a whole, none of us let the daunting task of school get in the way of forming relationships that will stay with us well after we leave here today. I think that truly speaks to our resiliency and ability to overcome obstacles. When it comes to overcoming obstacles, I'm reminded of words from my sensei when I passed my black belt test last November. It went something like this. There are certain milestones in our lives that only come around once, that must be cherished, and many people get the pleasure of experiencing. Then there are those milestones that very few people achieve in their lives because they require more hard work, dedication, and sacrifice than the average person is willing and able to give. For me, one of those milestones was the day I got my black belt. But today, we all get to add another to that list because we all have achieved something that very few people are willing and able to do: graduate law school. And while law school may very well be the most challenging thing many of us survive during our lives, it's important to remember that life has a way of throwing curveballs and new challenges our way. There will always be the next great battle ahead of us, but knowing what we are capable of is the key to succeeding in whatever is put in our path. I truly believe we all will be able to take on these new challenges in stride, just as we all have proven we can do throughout law school. That being said, the bar exam is our next mountain to climb. While I'm sure that none of us are particularly thrilled about taking the exam, We will do it regardless, and we will pass. It is just one last hurdle on our way to becoming the best attorneys we can be, and we've put in all the work and been provided all the tools to do just that. I'm confident that in just 6 short months, we will all be celebrating passing the bar, being sworn in, and starting the next phase of our lives as attorneys. I truly look forward to what the future holds for each of us. And although we will all likely be getting back to bar prep very soon, it's important that we all take at least a brief moment today and this weekend to celebrate what we have just accomplished. We are Juris Doctors, after all. I'd like to say thank you once more to everyone for being here, and our immense gratitude goes out to all of you for supporting us along the way. Last, but certainly not least, a huge congratulations to my fellow graduates. We did it.
Thank you, Kelsey. I would now like to introduce Associate Dean Paul Arshiguni, who will assist me as we honor the valedictorians and salutatorians of the classes we are recognizing in today's ceremony. Those graduates have attained the first and second place academic ranks in their graduating classes. Honorees, please approach the podium as I say your name. John Marr, summa cum laude, valedictorian, class of fall 2023. Timothy Mayers, summa cum laude, valedictorian, class of spring 2024. And we'll invite back to the stage Kelsey Blair Cooper, summa cum laude, salutatorian, class of spring 2024. The salutatorian for the class of fall 2023 is unable to be here today, but that is Isabella Torkeman, magna cum laude.
Thank you. We will now present a few awards for our graduates. First, the 2024 Marcia Blanchard Wilbur Award for Outstanding Student. This award is presented in honor of Marcia Wilbur, who served as Dean of Western State for about 8 years, from the late 80s to the mid-90s. She had a significant role in shaping the character and reputation of Western State. She was a woman of great courage and integrity who cared deeply for her students and the quality and wholeness of their educational experience. We pay homage to Dean Wilbur's life today by honoring a graduate in her name. This year, the award recipient is Mary Catherine Tiernan. Mary Catherine has exemplified what it means to be an outstanding student. She served as editor-in-chief of the Law Review. She has consistently been a top student in her classes, having been on the Dean's Honor List each and every semester. She interned for the Honorable Judge Lee. She clerked at Litchfield Law Firm during her 3L year, and will go back there after graduating, after passing the bar exam, which you will do. She is deserving of the Marcia Blanchard Wilbur Award for Outstanding Student.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Next, we honor Dean Mary Ann Jones by presenting an award to a graduate in her name. Today's Mary Ann Jones Award goes to Helsley Gonzalez. Helsley is set to graduate summa cum laude. She's been a distinguished scholar and fervent advocate for justice. While a student, she was co-president of the Latinx Law Student Association, and also as a student writer-editor for the Law Review. She's helped her fellow students as a Dean's Fellow, giving guidance and assistance. Her dedication to social justice extends beyond just the classroom and is exemplified through ongoing work with the Esperanza Immigrants' Rights Project. There's little doubt that Helsley is poised to make a significant impact into the legal field and beyond that. She is well deserving of the Mary Ann Jones Achievement and Leadership Award. Congratulations. Next, we have the Wallace R. Davis Award, which will go to Mireya Valle. Mireya has demonstrated her commitment to the law school and the community throughout her time here at Western State. She interned at the LA Center for Law and Justice, where she assisted survivors of domestic violence with their immigration matters. She participated in the Immigration and Deportation Defense Clinic here at Western State, where she became a certified law student to be able to represent members of the community. She serves as vice president for the Latinx Law Student Association and as vice chair for the Mexican American Bar Association. She rightly deserves the Wallace Davis Public Service Award. Congratulations. I would now like to invite Professor Stephen Hendricks up to a class of 2015 to present the Stephen F. Chavez Alumni Leadership Award.
Thank you, Dean Archigone. So hello, as the Dean introduced, I'm Stephen Hendricks. I'm honored to present the Stephen F. Chavez Alumni Leadership Award to an outstanding member of this year's graduating class. This award commemorates the legacy of Professor Stephen Chavez, who was not only a distinguished alumnus and a dedicated faculty member at Western State College of Law, but also a visionary who believed in the transformative power of education to change lives and shape careers. This year, it is my distinct pleasure to present the Stephen F. Chavez Alumni Leadership Award to Shannon Patrick. During her time here at Western State, Shannon has exemplified the spirit of commitment and leadership that Professor Chavez held dear. As a vice president of the Federalist Society and a certified law clerk with the Orange County District Attorney's Office, Shannon has demonstrated exceptional dedication to both her studies and to the community. Her involvement extends beyond the classroom as a mock trial team captain and a persistent volunteer, notably with the Teach Democracy program and as a student ambassador. Shannon's journey at Western State has been marked by her tireless advocacy, support for her peers, her profound engagement in every project she undertakes, and her commitment to public service. Her role as a mentor and coach in both law and middle school students showcases her dedication to nurturing the next generation of legal minds. Shannon, come on over. I am proud to present to you the Stephen F. Chavez Alumni Leadership Award for 2014, or 2024. All right, not quite that far back. Congratulations, Shannon.
Thank you so much.
I would like to now invite Professor Zoa Khan, class of 2016, who will present the Douglas Schroeder Alumni Leadership Award.
Thank you. It is my distinct honor to present the Douglas Schroeder Leadership Alumni Award. This award commemorates the enduring legacy of Douglas Schroeder, a distinguished alumnus and esteemed evidence professor whose untimely passing deeply impacted the Western State community. This award is given to a student that exemplifies the leadership, dedication, and integrity that Professor Schroeder embodied. And this year's recipient is the exceptional Alexandra Navarez. Alexandra truly embodies the integrity, dedication, and leadership skills that Professor Schroeder embodied. She served as the Honors Moot Court Team President, the Treasurer of the Student Bar Association, Secretary of the Torts Law Association. She also found time to be a Dean's Fellow, a Student Ambassador, and despite all of the commitments she had, she also found time to give back to the community. She worked with the Children's Hospital of Orange County, the Lynn House Foundation, and I have personally seen Alexandra give so much of her time to her fellow peers. She is very deserving, and we are so proud of her. Congratulations.
Now I would like to invite up to the podium William D. Shapiro, class of 1978, who will present the William D. Shapiro Advocacy Award.
It's unbelievably humbling when the law school you graduated from and love so much names an award after you, and you're still alive. And it's amazing. And it's even better when you have an opportunity to come to the ceremony and to bestow it. But one of the best things is when the person who is been selected by the committee, not me, by the committee, to receive this award was one of your students. And Jeremy Bisaga is an exceptional example of an advocate. He demonstrates every ounce of integrity, conscientiousness. He's dedicated. He's diligent. I can go on and on. Aside from his academic prowess, he was involved in helping 1Ls as part of the Dean's Fellow Program. He was involved in the Latino and Black law students associations. He revitalized the Asian Pacific Association, made it as good as it's ever been, and held every office, including president. He was a distinguished member of the Moot Court. Jeremy won the scholarship of the Orange County Abota Scholarship. He exemplifies everything that we look for in an advocate. I saw it myself. You will see it in the future. Jeremy is so deserving, and would you please, along with me, along with the faculty and staff of Western State, give a round of applause for Jeremy of the William D. Shapiro Award.
It is now my privilege to present the first ever Alan K. Easley Tenacity Award. The Tenacity Award is given each year to a graduate who has faced obstacles in law school, but who tenaciously held on to overcome those obstacles and ultimately achieve his or her goals. The award is named for Alan Easley, former dean of the law school, who embodies the very best of Western State. He tenaciously led Western State through some of our most dire challenges. Confronted with any of the challenges Western State faced, it would have been easy for him to step aside and leave the school to its fate. But Alan Easley did not do that. He remained at the helm, working hard to get us through them and inspiring everyone not to give up. His tenacity in the face of each of those challenges helped Western State overcome them. Alan Easley embodies the Western State ideal of tenacity, and for that, we thank him. I'm delighted to award the inaugural Alan K. Easley Tenacity Award to Jordan Mickle. Jordan has worked all her life and did not stop for law school. Even while being a full-time student, she worked full-time through the night so that she could avail herself of daytime volunteer opportunities with the district attorney's office. While in law school, she accumulated over 300 public service hours with the Orange County and Los Angeles district attorney's offices. If this weren't tenacious enough, Jordan accomplished all of this while also serving as the guardian of her 3 younger siblings, raising them while also managing school and work, and still managing to graduate on time in 3 years. As a former foster youth, Jordan has dedicated her life to advocating for those who are abused while in the system. Jordan, you embody the spirit of this award, and it's an honor to present it to you today. Congratulations. Over the nearly 60 years of our existence, Western State has produced more than 12,000 alumni. Many of those alumni have become leaders in the Southern California and Orange County legal community, including over 150 of our alumni who have been elevated to the bench throughout the years. But our alumni have also brought other members of their families into the Western State family, creating a legacy of multi-generational family connections in our alumni community. So I would like to take a moment to recognize all those connections by asking all members of our audience who are Western State alumni to stand in solidarity with our graduates. Our student community has been enriched by the presence of a number of armed forces veterans. The deans and faculty believe it's important to acknowledge their sacrifices and the sacrifices of those who are no longer with us. I ask those veterans of the United States Armed Forces, both among the graduates and in the audience, to please stand and be recognized by this assembly. Thank you. Before I introduce our commencement speaker, I want to draw your attention to 2 more individuals. Professor Glenn Capel, who as many of you are aware, is retiring this year after 42 years of service to Western State, and Professor Todd Brower, who is retiring after 41 years of service to Western State. So please let's take a moment to thank Professors Capel and Brower at their last Western State commencement for their years of dedicated service to students, and congratulate them on their appointment to emeritus status. We're also pleased to bestow Dean Emeritus status on Dean Alan K. Easley, who retired last year. He's not with us this evening, but please let's give him a round of applause in absentia. I am now delighted to introduce your commencement speaker, George Marquez. Mr. Marquez was raised in El Centro, where he attended public schools before earning his bachelor's degree from Cal State San Marcos. His educational journey then took him here to Western State, where he earned his JD in 2005. Since then, his legal career has exemplified the values of Western State: hard work, integrity, and a commitment to justice. He obtained extensive experience both as a prosecutor and defense attorney, first with the Imperial County DA's office, and then with the Imperial County Public Defense Board member of CASA of Imperial County. Mr. Marquez is also an experienced professor, having taught more than 30 criminal justice classes at San Diego State University, Imperial Valley campus, and at the University of Phoenix. In addition, he has conducted numerous trainings with law enforcement regarding testifying in court and prosecution-related issues. He has lectured and trained educators regarding juvenile delinquency and truancy issues. Outside of the office, Mr. Marquez is a beloved husband and father. He enjoys spending time with his family, watching baseball games, and cooking for his friends and family. It is my honor and privilege to introduce you to George Marquez.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Dean Marissa Chancharulo, the deans of the schools, faculty, and administration for this tremendous honor. Next, congratulations to Western State College of Law Class of 2024 for this great accomplishment. I also want to congratulate your parents, your spouses, your children, and any support persons that went through this journey with you, especially those who made sacrifices to help you get here. So, I have a couple of goals for today. First, not to say something that's going to cause a scandal. And second, I would like to impart some words of wisdom that I have gathered from my life and my career as an attorney in the hopes that some of these words resonate with you and stay with you. And if they don't, it's okay, but I'm going to try. Rules are a crucial part of society. Without rules, there would be chaos. Lawyers advocate for how the rules are followed and interpreted. This has promoted the evolution of societies throughout history. What we do as lawyers matters on many levels. Your ability to legally analyze rules and argue are very important. But many of the lessons of life are equally as important, if not more important, than just knowing the rules and how to use the rules. The virtues of perseverance, balance, putting your heart into what you do, using instinct, using your words wisely, and civility. Those virtues are vital in the legal profession and are keys to great lawyering. I grew up in Imperial County, a town 10 minutes from the border in El Centro, California. I am the youngest of 9 children, having parents who spoke little to no English and had a very minimal education. My father had a first-grade education, and my mom had a 6th-grade education. The life struggle for my parents was real, like many immigrant families. Unfortunately, they didn't live to see me sworn in as the elected DA, but I always think about them. My father started working at the age of 7 for my grandfather. They were musicians, and my father played in his orchestra, starting at the age of 7. And they would travel in towns in the mountains of Mexico and farms, and they used to say he would fall asleep holding his violin when they would play late into the night. My parents had perseverance. Perseverance is a trait I became familiar with long before I ever knew what the word meant, because I saw it lived through their lives. Perseverance is also important for a lawyer because every case has the potential to be a battle with tremendous obstacles to overcome. You cannot have any quit in you. You have to be a fighter. After law school, I worked in the private sector before obtaining a job offer in Imperial County as a deputy district attorney, where I was employed close to 9 years. I enjoyed the job, but there was a restlessness inside of me that kept growing. I had reached a point in my career where I wanted to do more and influence policy. One day I had a notion, an epiphany. Different things can trigger an epiphany. Things like ambition, creativity. In my case, it was restlessness. And restlessness has the potential to eat you up, or it can fuel you to eat up whatever stands in your path. I asked myself a question: what do I want to do with my career as a lawyer? And the answer came to me immediately. I wanted to be district attorney. The restlessness disappeared. It's one of those moments in life that defines you and it leads you down a completely different path. Howard Schultz, the founder of Starbucks, tells a story of how he was in Europe. I think it was in Milan, Italy. And he saw everyone drinking coffee and hanging out at coffee shops, socializing. They were family environments. And he had a vision of this occurring in the United States on a larger scale. He followed that thought and he followed his heart. And he took action. And we all know what Starbucks is today. My epiphany was similar, but there are two minor differences. First, my epiphany didn't make me filthy rich. And second, I was not in Milan, Italy, with a Mediterranean climate. I was in the hot desert in Central California. I had just left work, and I was crossing the street heading to my car. And I was about halfway across the street when the notion of running for DA struck me. And I imagined myself as DA, and I liked it. I believed it. During my drive home, I felt excited, not restless. And I told my wife when I got home that I was going to be DA. And she just looked at me like I was nuts, a look I get from her often. So a couple days later, I get a haircut, and I walk through the door, and my wife looks at me, and she says, "You know, I could kind of see it now." It was growing on her. The idea percolated in her because she believed in me. I had discovered a path I truly wanted to travel. All I needed was the courage to walk that path. I believe that path was always there for me, but I never actively tried to find it. And life can be that way sometimes. The answers are right there for us. It just takes us asking the right questions. So to all of you, go out and ask those questions of yourselves. During this time, there was an elected DA who had been there for about 25 years. It was not going to be an easy path. Before I ran, I quit my job as a prosecutor to become a deputy public defender. A deputy public defender running for DA rarely happens. I never had a problem working for either side because I know that our system has two sides and that both sides are needed for our system to function. I believe that our system, our justice system, is better balanced when there are two competing sides. I understood this as a deputy DA. I realized that even more as a deputy public defender. And I knew the experience would make me a better DA. So I worked for the public defender for more than 3 years. The experience as a public defender fortified the idea that balance is crucial to our justice system. It made me a much better attorney and gave me something that all attorneys, I believe, should have: perspective. The justice we all want and desire is a type that is a hallmark of any great society. It has an equilibrium, a balance. There is a reason for the term scales of justice. The struggle for lawyers who truly care is to instill that balance. As a prosecutor, I had prosecuted criminals and advocated for victims. As a deputy public defender, I had represented people who were destitute in one of the poorest counties in the state. I realized that a society is judged by the balance of the scales and by the quality of justice administered by its institutions. So after a few years at the public defenders, my enthusiasm to be the DA started to wane. And I began to think my path would end there, and maybe I was going to be a public defender for the remainder of my career. And I was okay with that. It's a great career. But the restlessness returned. And then one day I got a phone call. It was a lady who I didn't know personally, but I had played in the same Little League as her son when I was a child. I knew her son. I met her at her office. We talked. She told me she had done some research on me and felt I should run for district attorney. Other people in the community started to reach out to me asking me to run for DA. Eventually, a committee was formed, and the stars started lining up. However, I had very little money to run a county-wide campaign, which is something I found out that you need. I was not about to sell my house where my wife and my 2 daughters live because my home belongs to them, and I would never touch that. I took a leap of faith. A leap of faith is when you're about to walk into the unknown with only a feeling to guide you. We held a press conference, and I envisioned this huge press conference in front of the courthouse with hundreds of people cheering me on, chanting my name in unison. It didn't happen like that because the court told me I needed to give them more notice. I still had a press conference, but it was a little bit awkward. We moved it across the street with a side view of the courthouse behind the restaurant on a dirt lot close to one of those big blue trash bins. And we positioned the camera so you couldn't see the back of the restaurant. Behind me was a row of trees, and if you looked under the trees, you could see the semblance of what looked like some type of courthouse, and that was the view. The good thing was all my supporters were there, all 12 of them, minus 4 who were reporters, so really 8 of them. About halfway through my press conference speech, my 4-year-old daughter started running behind me, followed by my wife chasing her in circles, wearing her high heels. Meanwhile, I'm giving this speech, which I thought at that time was the most important speech of my life. I'm trying to keep my composure, acting like nothing's going on behind me, so it was awkward. But awkwardness in life is okay, I guess. So a few weeks later, I heard that the sitting DA was retiring, and he was endorsing one of his senior prosecutors to fill his shoes. They held a press conference a few weeks later, and I saw what seemed like hundreds of people with signs in front of the courthouse, on the front courthouse steps. The press conference I had wanted. The sitting DA spoke, endorsing my opponent. And I stood in the parking lot listening to my opponent's speech. And I felt like I was sinking. What brought me back up was remembering how elated I felt when I first told myself I would run for office. And I knew the path ahead would be tough, but internally, I knew it was the right path. It helps to think about people who you love when you have obstacles in front of you. I thought about my parents and their struggles, and I thought about my wife and my children, what it meant for them to see me reach my goals. So then a couple of private practitioners jumped in the race, and now there was 4 of us. I finished in second in the primary, which qualified me for the runoff. Top 2 make it to the runoff. The senior DA finished in first by a considerable amount of votes. So I got together with my committee. We came up with a plan. We focused. I stayed the course, campaigned harder, and I won the election in November 2022. I stand before you today as the elected district attorney of Imperial County and proud alumnus of the school. Instinct as a lawyer is very important. The moral of the story is aim high and listen to your heart, your instincts. When you're following your instincts, barriers get moved. They move out of the way. So to all of you, follow your instincts, listen to your heart. There will be times in your career when you're going to make difficult decisions, many times. You do the cost-benefit analysis with all possible factual scenarios in your mind, as all attorneys do, and then you choose a path, or you advise your client a path to choose. The merits and pitfalls to come are more often unknown. It's a leap of faith every time. When you no longer can listen to your mind because you've exhausted that avenue, then you must go to that other source, your instincts inside of you. Another important attribute of a great attorney is to communicate effectively. And you probably think it's the ability to speak eloquently and articulately using oral skills that you honed in law school. And those are very good skills to have. They will make you a good communicator, but they will not make you a great communicator, which is what you need to be. A great communicator has the ability to take a seed and plant that seed inside another person so that it grows. And in the case of lawyers, at times, it's juries, it's the client, it's the judge, it's opposing counsel, etc. When you plant a seed, it stays there, it germinates, it takes root until it grows. To make a person truly think the way you want, or to truly make them understand, you have to make them feel and believe what you are saying. That's when people are profoundly swayed, when they have a seed inside them that is growing. It's a combination of your mind and your heart working together to persuade and to build a connection. To get there, it does take some practice. There's no magic formula. Learning to connect with people is something that is unique to each one of us. And connecting is a skill. What I can tell you as a lawyer is building positive relationships will be a tool that is going to be invaluable to you. For some, it comes more natural than others. But that ability is inside all of us. If you don't connect with people on some level, then your communication skills are lacking regardless of how eloquent and articulate you speak. Connecting can then build trust. And trust is the foundation for a solid relationship. Building strong relationships is key to effective negotiation. It creates solid and fruitful dialogue. It will help your legal objectives. It will help your clients. Using words wisely are also very important. Words are a commodity for lawyers. It's not about quantity, it's quality that matters. If that is our commodity, then what is the value you want for them? Do you want your words to have the value of gold or the value of copper? Do you want your words to be valuable or you want them to be cheap? The choice is yours. There is a difference between words that take this route and words that take this route. The difference is in the journey. Words of substance are more persuasive. They connect better with people. Learn to use the power of words. The American author Nathaniel Hawthorne said this about the power of words. He said, "Words, so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in a dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them." This is true if you think about it. Has anyone ever said something that made you flush? Words have an immersive power. If at some point in your life you felt cold because of whatever circumstance, you have the power to impart words of warmth. If your life was full of obstacles, your words can clear a path. And if you ever felt lost, your words are a map. These are things your clients need to hear. But they don't only need to hear it, they need to feel it. They need to feel the power of your words through your advocacy. They need to believe that you're fighting for them. They are often lost. They need to believe in something, and that something is you. You may be one of the most important persons in your client's life at that particular moment in time. So we live in a time when artificial intelligence may do much of the thinking. Some people even try to use AI for legal advice. But the words contrived by a machine will never have the wisdom of your journey. They will not have the victories, the defeats, or the battle scars. They will not have the same ability as we do as humans to plant seeds and to connect from one person to another. But beware, words can also be misused. Words can create anger, hatred, or jealousy. They can create domino effects that have negative consequences down the road that we never even imagined. And I'm talking personal life and your professional life as an attorney. Sometimes words that are never spoken are the most powerful. I've seen young lawyers at times have a court battle won until they argue too much, and then they lose. Be careful for that, by the way, especially your first year. The power of words is amplified when you use them as a lawyer because of the far-reaching consequences they have in people's lives. But don't think for 1 minute that means you can't be a zealous advocate. You can be everything that a great attorney is, and even more by using your words wisely, profoundly. Allow your words to be made of gold. Allow your words to create civility. Civility is gold. Civility is balance. A civil relationship is when both sides are respectful, both sides are in control of their emotions. Don't ever let your anger or vindictiveness get in the way of your legal objectives. That will torpedo your reputation. Don't ever let them see you unbalanced. It's okay to get angry every now and then and to show you have a backbone. That's important. Being civil will help you build your reputation and keep you balanced. When I see leaders being uncivil, it's truly a sad thing because they are leading us towards a society that is unbalanced. As attorneys, we are balance seekers. That's what we do as attorneys. We seek balance. If you examine our profession, you see evidence of this. When a victim has been harmed by a criminal defendant, the prosecutor is the one holding that criminal accountable and seeking balance in our justice system. When a defendant has been wrongly accused, it is a defense attorney who could bring balance to the other side. And the same thing is true in civil law. Attorneys can offset the harm in someone's life and bring balance to an unbalanced situation. You have the ability and power through your advocacy to balance the scales of justice. Think about that for a minute. That's something very powerful. Through your advocacy, through your words, through your work, you can balance the scales of justice, something that is so important to humanity. Justice, at the end of the day, is more than an abstract concept. It's more than a symbol that we see, the scales of justice. It's something we feel internally. And for that reason, true justice resides in our hearts along with all the other things that are of vital importance to us in our lives, because that's where we feel it. And I will close with this. Imagine what you could do as a lawyer who follows your heart, who uses your words and achieves justice in life and career. Imagine yourself striving for balance, being civil, overcoming obstacles, persevering. Imagine all the seeds you will plant and the positive domino effects that will follow. Imagine these things. Believe these things, and it will become true. And your reputation will soar to the sky. In this increasingly chaotic world, these are the types of lawyers that the world needs. And that is my advice to you. Thank you.
Mr. Marquez, it is a common practice at commencement ceremonies to award the commencement speaker with an honorary degree from the institution at which he is speaking. Of course, in this instance, you already have an actual degree from Western State, one that you earned through your own blood, sweat, and tears. So rather than give you an honorary degree from the same institution to sit beside your real one, we thought we'd do something different instead. Western State has had a tradition of inducting one or more deserving graduates of Western State into its Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is an honor reserved for people who have demonstrated excellence in the fields of law, education, politics, government, business, or public service, who have made significant contributions and impact in their field, who have had a long-standing and distinguished career that serves as an inspiration to others, who have received recognition and accolades from peers and colleagues, and who demonstrate a commitment to integrity, ethics, and service to the community. Mr. Marquez, your distinguished career in the law, from Deputy District Attorney to Deputy Public Defender to District Attorney of Imperial County more than satisfies all of these criteria. So it is my privilege to introduce you to our graduates and their friends and families as the newest member of the Western State College of Law Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I ask that Associate Dean Arshiguni, Professor Glenn Capel, Professor William Shapiro, please join me in honoring the graduates.
Dean Cianciarulo, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you the members of the 2023-2024 graduating class who have in all ways met the qualifications for the degree of Juris Doctor.
The Juris Doctor degree is the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and attainment of intellectual maturity. The graduates here today have completed a demanding and rigorous course of study. They have met the challenges of the faculty and complied with the requirements of the California Committee of Bar Examiners and the standards of the American Bar Association. By the authority granted to me by the state of California, Westcliff University, and the Board of Advisors of Western State College of Law, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Juris Doctor with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. We will now bring the graduates with their personal hooders to the stage. Graduates, we will be pacing this important part of the ceremony so that one graduate's hooding is not disrupted by the reading of the next graduate's name. So as each graduate ascends the ramp to the stage, they will present their name card to Professor Capel, who will read the name of the graduate as the graduate and hooder walk to the center stage to be hooded. The audience can then applaud as the hooding takes place. Once the hooding is completed, as the graduate crosses the stage to receive their diploma, the next graduate will present their name card to Professor Capel, and the cycle will continue. There will be photographers taking pictures at two key moments during the ceremony. First, as the graduate is being hooded, and second, as the graduate receives the diploma.
Marshals, please bring the graduates to the stage. John Marr, hooded by his wife, Sarah Marr. Tim Mayers, hooded by his wife, Alyssa Mayers, and daughter, Indy Mayers. Kelsey Blair Cooper, hooded by her father, Rance Cooper, and mother, Molly Cooper. Mary Catherine Tiernan, hooded by her mother, Mary Ruth Baltimore Rosen, and father, Thomas Lynn Tiernan. Esli Gonzalez, hooded by her mom Olivia Gonzalez and dad Sergio Gonzalez. Mireya Valle, hooded by her mother, Rosa Acuna. Shannon Marie Patrick, hooded by her mother, Lisa Mitz Patrick. Alexandria Nevares, hooded by her mom Gladys Zaballa and father Alejandro Nevares. Jeremy Philip Basuga, hooded by her father Ronaldo Basuga and mother Corazon Basuga. Jordan Mickle, hooded by her girlfriend Olivia Johnson. Ozjay Ozzy Pena, hooded by his dad Osli Pena and mom Delcy Pena. Michael Ogredano, hooded by his mother Oralia Ogredano and father fiancé Shante El Alam. Sima Al-Jabari, hooded by her sister Lala Al-Jabari. Stephanie Alvarez, hooded by her father Alvaro Alvarez and mother Irma Alvarez. Nina Patricia Ancheta, hooded by her mom Cheryl Ancheta and dad Eddie Makaspak. Chase Engel, hooded by Professor Tanya Shaw. Alexandria Alvarez, hooded by her mother Ana Diaz and grandmother Maria Siono. Miguel Anguiano, hooded by his father Mr. Miguel Anguiano and mother Linda Anguiano. Farah Fez, hooded by her grandma Marwan Tokatli and mother Hana Tokatli. Ryan Asadi, hooded by his mother Tanya Asadi and father Bobby Asadi. Tianhee Bai, hooded by his brother Min Q. Natalie Batista, hooded by her mother June Batista and father Jacob Batista. Chelsea Marie Brainard, hooded by her mother Jane White and daughter Tatiana Gibson. Mina Brar Herrera, hooded by her father Harminder Brar and mother Perline Brar. Monica Calvillo Chow, hooded by her husband and partner Thomas Yao. Ryan Castillo, hooded by his mother Maria Castillo and father Cesar Castillo. Kyle Collette, hooded by his father Lee Collette and mother Robin Collette. Emily Cook, hooded by her mother Terry Cook. Arthur Crownin, hooded by his spouse Alexandria Crownin and daughters Adelaide and Abigail Crownin. Luis Curil Marroquin, hooded by his father Juan Carlos Curil and mother Adele Marroquin. Naomi DeYoung, hooded by her father Ed DeYoung and mother Linda DeYoung. Evan Delorio, hooded by his mother Kimberly Delorio and father Carl Delorio. Abel Fernandez, hooded by his father Carlos Fernandez. Sierra Flores, hooded by her dad, Jim Flores, and mom, Natalia Flores. Frida Franco, hooded by her mother, Elda Franco, and father, Alberto Franco. Cade Gil Chavez, hooded by his father, Michael Chavez. Madison Lee Gimple, hooded by her fiancé, Max Wilkinson. Elizabeth Gomez, hooded by her mother, Margarita Medina. Olivia Johnson, hooded by her mother, Monique Johnson, and girlfriend, Jordan Mickle. Yunho Jack Han, hooded by his father, Young Mo Han, and mother, Stephanie Han. Kevin Harris, hooded by his sister, Desiree Harris. Yona Yasinskaya, hooded by her mother, Irina Yasinskaya, and father, Tom Yasinski. Jonathan Janik, hooded by his wife, Clarissa Janik. Catherine Elizabeth Kagan, hooded by her father, Sean Kagan. Nima Kosari, hooded by his father, Mike Kosari, and mother, Sandy Kosari. Trevor Lambright, hooded by his wife, Kristen Lambright, and mother, Lorraine Bongiovanni. Jessica Lim, hooded by her mother, Griselda Tew, and father, Xavier Lim. Excuse me? Oh, husband. My mistake. Sharon Hernandez Reyes, hooded by her mother, Teresa Reyes Cruz, and sister, Claudia Reyes. Quinn Wesley Porter, hooded by his mother, Alexandra Porter, and father, Stephen Porter. Erica Pronchunas, hooded by her mother, Elba Pronchudas. Jax Jacinto, hooded by his sister, Erica Rogers. Joseph Massey, hooded by his wife, Tracy Massey, and father, Jeff Massey. Sarah Montaseri Aliabadi, hooded by his father, Hermid Montaseri, and mother, Parveen Mandipur. Alexandra Moran, hooded by her mom, Eva Moran, and brother, Diego Moran. Andrew Morris, hooded by his spouse, Melissa Agostinelli. Kira Spersky, hooded by his mom, Silva Bataglin, and father, Adam Persky. Lisette Celeste Picasso, hooded by her father, Carlos Picasso, and mother, Micaela Flores. Stephanie Yvette Ramirez Mogel, hooded by her father, Edgar Ramirez, and mother, Maria Ramirez. Milad Sadat, hooded by his brother Somim Sadat, Western State, class of 2018, and father Obeid Sadat. Nico Sanchez, hooded by his father Christopher Sanchez and mother Linda Thurman Sanchez. Cheyenne Settles, hooded by her mother Andrea Odell and father Stephen Settles. Victoria Ashley Simon, hooded by her mother Rochelle Spears and father Lorik Simon. Alec Sperduto, hooded by his mom Debbie Sperduto and father David Sperduto. Cooper Strigan Hagen, hooded by his wife Corey Strigan Hagen. Isabel Tashima, hooded by her father Stephen Tashima and mother Lydia Tashima. Christine Nelly Tefei, hooded by her mom Salwa Tefei and dad George Tefei. Camelia Tirandazi, hooded by her mother, Furuza Tirandazi, and father, Nader Tirandazi. Gracie Tran, hooded by her father, Ton Tran, and mother, Hon Tran. Chao Tru, hooded by her sister Diane Tru and mother Tuan Chuang. Kiana Vahid, hooded by her mom Mojgan Vahid and dad Farshid Vahid. Jacqueline Vasquez, hooded by her dad Hermelo Vasquez and mom Araceli Mayo. Tanner Ward, hooded by his mom Christy Ward. Callie Yu, hooded by her dad, Danny Yu, and mom, Echo Yu. Zachary Zalowitz, hooded by his father, David Zalowitz, and mother, Melinda Zalowitz.
Okay, we are near the end of a ceremony commemorating an accomplishment of which you can all be justifiably proud. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of the class of 2023 and 2024. Please join me in celebrating their achievement. The deans, faculty, and staff of Western State College of Law at Westcliff University congratulate each of you. To the families and guests of the graduates, I thank you for being here with us today and for sharing in this momentous occasion. Okay, there are a few instructions about processing out. So the podium party is going to process out first, followed by the graduates. We ask that our audience guests remain in your seats until the graduates have processed out, and then you're going to exit to the left. Thank you, everyone.